What's up, friends? It's James Nguyen with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. It's Sunday night, and you are here to watch me draw. And you know what? I forgot to bring my pencils over. I'm ready to draw. I was going to tell you to get your pencils ready because we're going to draw together. And then I didn't bring my pencils over. But we'll talk about which Batgirl. Batgirl is who we're drawing tonight, and that's why you came. So we're going to find out which Batgirl you want to see me draw. And it's no surprise. It's no surprise. What was a surprise to me was that there were 4 Batgirls. I had no idea. No idea. Betty Kane was the first Batgirl. Kane as in Robert Kane, the creator of Batman. So she was the first first Batgirl. And then, of course, Barbara Gordon was the most popular Batgirl. Then it switched to Miss Cassandra Cain when Barbara Gordon became Oracle after getting her back broken. She fell off a building or something like that. I wasn't there for all that. I wasn't reading. I'm not a huge Batgirl fan, to be honest with you. So that's why I thought there was only one real Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and then I was familiar with Cassandra Cain. And then Stephanie Brown out of nowhere, Stephanie Cain was also a fan favorite, but Stephanie Cain got 2. Stephanie Brown got 2 votes, and Cassandra Cain got 2 votes. But Barbara Gordon, of course, ran away with it. So we will do her first. And why do I say first? Because I think I can draw pretty fast, and I set up the my composition already. I know that's like cheating. Like, you're like, well, we kind of like when you come up with it on the fly. I haven't drawn women in a long time. I don't have a lot of women in my in Alpha Red, my comic book. If you're not familiar with Alpha Red, that's why I call it the Alpha Red Comic Channel, because of my independent comic book, Alpha Red. So they're just mostly male heroes. There's a couple of females in the comic, but I don't know. I just didn't dawn on me. It wasn't a conscious effort to exclude women or women superheroes. But actually, my daughter's in there. I drew my daughter in there, so she's a comic superhero. I forget what I called her. Oh well, I think I let her name herself, but I can't really remember what her superhero name is. But she appears in Alpha Red. But you don't want to hear me talk. You want to hear me. You want to see me draw. So hang tight. Let me grab a pencil. Just happen to have one close by. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Not far away. My little art bag. I keep a little art bag to keep everything organized, but it doesn't help if I didn't prepare it beforehand. See, guys, every week I say I'm going to be ready, but like every week I'm not ready. I'm not ready for you. So I was trying to do stuff, and the technology escaped me again, guys. All right, I'm going to put this on the drawing board. Check that out. Check out that pose. Pretty cool if I say so myself. So the pose came from a reference, and the reference was a female pole vaulter. So we're going to do Babs, and then I do have a second sketch cover all ready to go, because I do believe that I will be drawing fast enough that I will be able to get a second picture in. So let me pull up my handy dandy reference for Babs, and I should know it from the top of my head here. The top of my head. But I get, like, there's something happens to my brain when the camera turns on and I have to talk and do stuff at the same time. It doesn't always work out the way I would prefer. But, all right, I think this is going to pop up a little reference action over on the side there. Bam. I like that. And there's a David Finch, and that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to like show you the references that I was using like especially for the pole vaulting girl. She was very dynamic. Obviously, I made her a little curvier. Athletic women tend to be very thin, or not thin. Well, I mean, pole vaulting girls are thin anyway. All right, so enough with me talking. Okay, so we always start off with a beautiful face. There's something about a beautiful face that forgives all the bad things about a picture. Like I could have wonky hands, the hands could be all whatever. Let me try this. I saw this technique on a draw thing where the person drew like a big circle. I wish I could zoom in for you guys. But a big circle in the middle, and then 2 little circles for the nostrils, and then 2 circles for the upper lip, and 2 bigger circles for the bottom lip. And then she picked like the corners of the mouth, and then she just connected everything. Like instead of drawing all these hints at shadows and stuff, she just went in, boom, boom, and then the girl was an attractive girl, and it seems to have worked for me. I dig it, guys. Let me look at my reference again to make sure that the mask is going to be what it is supposed to be. Let me jump back on the live stream to see if anybody... All right, Ulysses is here. I forgot to start off by saying hello to Ulysses. I saw you out there voting for Cass Kane again. But hey, James, just sitting down to supper, but I got you on the TV, and we'll put in once. See, I hate when they put the little heart right over the part of the word. I can't see it in these studio things, so I do have it on the side here. What do you say here? I got you on the TV, and we'll peek in once in a while. Well, I appreciate that, Ulysses. I appreciate that. And because you are the one who made this suggestion, even though Cassie tied with Stephanie Brown, I will draw her next. I will draw her next. I promise. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Labor Day weekend. And Ulysses tells me that it is also Labor Day weekend in the Great White North. So we can have a holiday tomorrow together. Together. And of course, I have filled my day up with a project. While I am working on Alpha Red, real life happens, and my wife does not allow me to use that as an excuse. I got the pretty lips. Now, how do I get pretty eyes? I need to look at another reference here to kind of really make sure I don't ruin a nice face with like weird eyes. But yeah, you got to start with a pretty face. Like I said, really forgives everything. And she's ready for battle, so she's got to be scowling, right? And so I'm going to use these draw streams, this one especially, to really kind of flesh out the more tighter pencil. I'm going to try it. There's a little bit of pressure because of the camera and stuff. The camera and somebody watching me, which I understand. That's why I'm here. But it does kind of throw you off a little bit. If you're sitting there, I sit with a drawing board on my lap, typically in my living room. That's where I do most of my drawing. And it's a lot less pressure. Even when my son comes up, my 16-year-old comes up, and he'll watch me. And I don't feel any pressure, you know. When I get on here, get the camera going, and there you go. Like my brain, like it has to shrink so that I can talk and draw at the same time. And I typically can. It's one of the things that I can do both at the same time, but like the pressure of you guys being able to see what I'm drawing, every mistake, every stroke is a little daunting. So as I'm drawing here, I'm thinking of the shadows and things. And so you want to show her form, right? At least I do want to show her form. Get this lighting. The lighting situated correctly here. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. Where'd the pencil go? Was I using this pencil? Okay. Felt like I was using a different pencil. The pencil didn't feel warm in my hand. Anyway. But I'm thinking about, so the female form, God made the female form beautiful. Everything he makes is beautiful. But I'm thinking about like how things flow and the composition of everything. And so I'm thinking of like how her belt is gonna fit on her. And let me go back. And I believe, yeah, she just has like her original, the Babs costume for Batgirl. Always just had like the little capsules that Batman would put his gadgets into. And so we'll just keep it like that. Hang tight here. I knew I'd forget to turn the music back up. Do you guys hear music? I knew I had a pencil out. It slipped underneath the table here. All right, I just turned up the music because I'm hearing the music in my ears, but I didn't see the music going on the little meter. So, but yeah. So when I was using the reference, her arm actually was very long down here. She was actually using the pole. She was letting go of the pole that she was using to vault over the other pole. But it actually extended down to this part. And so I moved it over. And I meant to create some space over here using some white out. I don't even know why I bothered to put a scan code here, because I don't sell these online anywhere, especially where a retailer can get it. So I'm gonna make room for her hand over yonder here. That's what I envision in my head over there. So I want to do that early so that it has time to dry. I don't like how I can still see through that. Come on. What do you guys use for whiteout? If you are an artist, what do you use for whiteout? Do you use whiteout? Or do you just let it fly? Whatever happens, happens. So I want her hand to like curl back like this, like she's, I don't know if that's gonna work out. You know, her forearms here, you can kind of see the underneath of her of her forearm, and it goes in here, and And that means the spikes are little bat spikes, costume spikes. They'd be kind of out like this. But we'll see. We'll see if that works out. But if I were to really be drawing, I got to put my mind in the mindset of like a finished thing. Hey, they're selling insurance. I sell insurance. I apologize for the commercials. I just play a royalty-free thing for the background. I really should learn how to use the StreamYard that I bought and I've used once. I thought I was going to do more interviews and stuff, but just as I was gearing towards doing that, I realized that if I want to have my crowdfunder, my Kickstarter, start at the end of September, I've got some drawing to do as far as promotional stuff. So that is one of the things I've been working on these past couple of weeks, and really that's the reason I have not been showing you any progress with Alpha Red number 6. I'm still on page 13 out of 20. It's going to be a 20 pager, and I kind of put that on pause as I was thinking through how much money that I needed. I've been doing commissions and things as throughout the I gotta think about the cape here. Sorry, I wanted the cape to be like draped around like the back of her, so that you have a reason to see more of her form. Let me see here. Let me just jump back to the. Gotcha. All right. So, so I kind of had to put a pause on the pages, even though I'm super excited to get back to the pages. I'll show you what I've been working on as far as variant covers. I'm going to try something like crazy that I don't know that I know of anybody that's done it, but I'm going to try to put my Kickstarter on all three platforms. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and Fund My Comic. So I had to think through what would make each one special and each one exclusive, and can I make money? Like, I've never done Indiegogo or Fund My Comic. I've always only done Kickstarter. And it wasn't until this year that most indie creators that I knew had only ever used Indiegogo. And Fund My Comic is so new that there's a lot of people who have not used Fund My Comic. And they get a bad rep because there's not a lot of traffic on there. But there's more and more people who are using it, and I'd love to support an alternative to Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Even Indiegogo is getting kind of funky as far as some of the content. Well, the content, man, it's all over the place. Lots of fanfic, like inappropriate fanfic. Hey, what's going on, Origin X? If you build it, they will come. That's right, brother. That's right. So I do want to keep the main fundraising on Kickstarter, just because that's where I have most of the people who have supported Alpha Red. But I want to open it up to Indiegogo and Fund My Comic, some catch-up tiers. So I'm really excited about the possibilities, because I came up with exclusives that I want to put on each. And there's a way for me to actually still be able to make my funding goals to pay for the rest of the coloring and to pay for the lettering. I've already paid for the writer's portion of it. My man Ray McKay jumped on board super early, the writer. Do you think that social media will help get the word out for you for your comic project? That's what I'm counting on, Origin-X. Very, very much so. So I have built up my Facebook page from 250 page followers on my Alpha-Red comic Facebook page to now over 1,500 page followers. Now that I don't know if that will translate into sales or not, or supporters, pledgers or not. And that 250 to 1,500 has happened since May-ish. April or May is when I started really. I have a strategy on how to get people to start following me on social media, on Facebook. It only seems to work on Facebook. Like, there's different strategies on different platforms, and really, I'm an old guy, so I feel most comfortable on Facebook. And so it really, I had this strategy, and it seems to be working. And so I've got 1,500 page followers, and it seems to be like at will. If I want to gain 100 followers, I just have to spend the time that week to lean into the strategy, and I get new followers. So whether or not that translates into people being interested in Alpha-Red is yet to be determined. Yeah. So the secret, if you want to know the secret on what I did or what I do to get more page followers on Facebook, is that my thinking is that anybody who comments, anybody who posts, or anybody who comments on a page is more of an active user than most creepers. Like I just creep. I typically just creep. I didn't post a lot up until this my push for my rededication to Alpha-Red and making more Alpha-Red. Like, I didn't know if I was going to continue with Alpha-Red or just kind of be done with it. But at the end of last year, beginning of this year, I decided that I wanted to do more Alpha-Red. And so the strategy was to go in and post more, because that's what everybody tells you. If you're not promoting yourself, then nobody's going to know about your comic. So, hey, what's going on, J. Scott? Hope everyone's having a good holiday weekend. I had my cheeseburger. Did you guys have your cheeseburgers yet? So the strategy goes that the people who are active enough to post something or to comment are more active and slightly narcissistic. And people say it in a bad way, but like, we all have opinions and we all want people to affirm our opinions. So I don't slight anybody for having an opinion and throwing it out there to see if it sticks. Defend your opinion, whatever. So when I see people commenting, I just go in and I like it. I like their comment. And when they come to my channel, my Facebook page, I will have posted something that day. And it'll be some artwork. It doesn't have to be brand new artwork. It can be old artwork. I don't like her eyes. She looks all buggy-eyed. Let's see if I can fix that. And it's been working. you know? And the more active the page, the more motivated the people who post on there seem to be. So the strategy has been working. So if you guys are trying to win more followers on Facebook, that is a strategy that has worked for me. But I'm the artist, so I know a lot of writers try to get some traction. Yeah, here we go. Maybe her head's too high. Maybe her head's too high. Maybe her head's too high. But that's what I've been doing to get engagement. So I've also been on a few YouTube channels. I don't know. Some of you guys are from have seen me on the Alterna channel, Pete Sammetti's Comic Book Radio Alterna channel. And so he's been extremely generous with his audience, sharing my stuff. And so, you know, kindness, people's kindness absolutely goes really, really far. So I've got nothing but nice things to say about Pete Sammetti. Apparently he's got some reputation or something. Some people don't like him. He claims that some people don't like him. I don't know why you wouldn't like Pete. He seems like a nice enough guy. Spent an hour. He invited me on his show. We talked about Alpha Red. And then after we got off, he spent an extra hour with me after the camera shut off. And I was asking him about publishing and things like that. And he just whatever I asked, he just would answer. And he stayed on for as long as I had questions. I ran out of questions. That's a good guy. Super duper good guy. All right, let's see if I can make a hand happen back here. Oof, that whiteout, not very kind. All right, maybe we won't. Yikes, that's terrible. You guys see how terrible that is? I've got, let's try, I believe I have like a super duper soft lead. Here's this 2B. It's really soft lead. Maybe that'll show up a little bit better over top of this whiteout. I thought this whiteout was really gonna allow me to draw on it, but it is not friendly. Bam. Let's see. Too much? Too twisted? Does that work? I mean, maybe in reality it works, but on this picture, it looks like her arm's gonna fall off. Looks like her arm is gonna fall off. What do you guys think? Do you think that the printed comic industry is not gaining enough traction as the comic movies are less popular? I think the movies are less popular because they're just kind of repetitive, and they're bad. I mean, they're just not interesting. They're the action, the things are just less and less believable, and so when you can't get immersed into a movie, it just kind of falls flat. And I don't think that's anything to do with comics and whatever. I think comics will always be around. Whether or not people can make a living drawing comics or creating comics, that's a whole nother question, especially here in America. Boy, that arm just looks really, really bad. I swear I can draw, guys. This is what I get for trying to be trying a pose that's more dynamic than my skills allow for. All right, I'm gonna have to maybe spend some time later fixing that hand up, trying to figure out the hand. I don't want to bore you with that, but I think comics just need to remember, like that Jim Shooter quote that everybody got bent out of shape for, and he said you just got to remember to make your comics entertaining again. And I think there are too many people who forget that it's escapism. It can be fun. It's allowed to be just fun, you know. And people are treating it like a soapbox, and they're trying to change the world, save the world. Like, I guess there's a place for that, but is it going to be commercially viable? Who knows? Who knows? I think that's why people are moving away from those kind of movies and those kind of comics. So, Jay Scott, how you doing, sir? Thank you for showing up. I work Sunday through Wednesday night, so I'm at work every live stream. So I can't post comments often, but I still say hi to everyone. Well, thank you for showing up, Jay Scott. Well, I appreciate the encouragement, Ulysses, on the hand. I often think about the popularity of the 90s artists like Rob Liefeld, McFarlane, and Jim Lee, and what. And see, I can't see what it says there because the little stupid little heart is there. I can't see. What don't have that today? We don't have that today because I mean, there was less competition then, right? There was no independent market, so there's like so many factors, and I don't think we'll ever have a time like that ever again, where the big two, Marvel and DC, were really the only viable game in town, and they put on, like, they allowed the artist to kind of dictate the stories, the kind of what could be exciting. I think it had turned into kind of like I don't want to say it was boring, because that John Byrne stuff, Chris Claremont stuff, you know, all that stuff was still very entertaining, but they kicked it into a higher gear because they were a product of John Byrne, George Perez, all those guys. And so once they jumped over to Image, they wanted to become the new Marvel and DC, and they took all the talent. And if you listen to Robservations, the podcast by Rob Liefeld, he goes through some of the time there. Boy, I don't know what to do with this hand over here, guys. This is why you don't do it on a live stream. Don't try to get too fancy on a live stream. So, okay, maybe, all right, this knuckle down here, this is a knuckle over here, this is a knuckle. Man, that's a hot mess over there. All right. But yeah, that's what I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for comic creators, because the IPs can be farmed out, and they'll be farmed out to people who draw it cheaper. There are people who in third world countries who are very talented and with the internet can produce passable quality work. And if you love the IP, then you can get more of your favorite character. But for a creator trying to make a living doing it, I think the only way is to have a social media following, like you said, like you asked earlier, OriginX. And then you can cultivate a fan base. Let me see what I miss. Those two guys made X-Men so popular in the 80s. I'm telling you, Claremont and Byrne, apparently they didn't get along and they had to split them up. Byrne wanted, if you listen to Robservations, that's why John Byrne went to the Fantastic Four, and Chris Claremont stayed on X-Men. Chris Claremont won. And Rob Liefeld talks about some of the ideas that John Byrne said he had for the X-Men had he stayed. And, it's a hit or miss. It sounds kind of fantastical or not as appealing to me as an X-Men fan. But if he drew it and it looked good and it was what it was, you just didn't know any better. And it was entertaining and it was entertainment. So yeah, I think those guys, Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, they had a love for the characters. They were both fans of the X universe, and they were able to transfer that energy and that love for the characters into the stories. All right, I'm gonna call that done. I don't know how to save that. It's pretty mid. It's pretty mid. I'm not gonna lie. I'll fix up her face. Before I post it. But we can get to Cassandra Cain. How about it, Ulysses? But yeah, by and large, I think the success of Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld was on the backs of guys like John Byrne, Perez, Neil Adams. Who else? Just all the greats that you can think of. And they just got lucky. They were in the right place, right time. Bob Harris had a lot to do with it. Bob Harris, the editor, younger guy, less kind of, I don't know, loyalty to the old stories or old guard, ready for something new. And Jim Lee just happened to be just the right guy for the right time, right everything. And I just don't think that's ever going to happen again. I don't know how it could, because there are some really good artists out there on the X-Men, on Batman, on Superman, on the right titles. But I could care less. It's good art for sure. Nothing, I can't take anything away from these guys, but they don't really draw me in. And I think it had something to do with Wizard magazine too. I remember they kind of told you what was hot and what was not, and we don't have that anymore. Like more of a singular voice as far as opinions go, because you can get everybody with a microphone and a camera has an opinion now. Anybody can write a blog. Anybody can write and have a review channel. Everybody, depends on who can best hype something up and who people start to trust. So, yeah, it's just not going to be ever like that anymore. And Liefeld was talking about, speaking of like social media and stuff, there was no social media, but people were really buying the personality. They were buying the hype of a Rob Liefeld and a Jim Lee. Rob Liefeld had the Levi's commercial, Buttonfly Levi's commercial, that made him huge. Just became I don't know if he was a household name, but I know my brothers were like, hey, there's the X-Men, the guy who created X-Men is doing jean commercials. I was like, he's not the X-Men creator, but he created X-Force. He was creating X-Force at the time. And so he broke out of the comic book world and into the mainstream. And that's huge. That's huge. And that's when the big money comes. Big money comes when the normies start paying attention. That's why the Marvel movies and all that stuff, they're mostly normies that go to watch it. We as fans, there's not enough of us, I don't think, to support those movies. They're just good, and if they're generic enough, people buy into it. I think the whole point of comic books were to be entertainment for young people. Nowadays, a lot more adults buy comics. Maybe it's a financial decision for buyers. Yeah, there's a whole mix of all that stuff. Wizard Magazine was very much the curator of the comic book industry. Yep, I remember that commercial. Yeah, I showed my kids that Levi's commercial, because here very recently, just telling them about Image Comics and stuff, and I was telling them about Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee. Like, I was always a Jim Lee guy. I was never really a Rob Liefeld guy, but you couldn't escape the buzz that was around guys like McFarlane and Liefeld. And once Image hit, you found out about Eric Larson. Like, I knew of Eric Larson, but he was like your poor man's Todd McFarlane. And so I didn't have any interest in him, really. But his Savage Dragon, man, I fell in love with Savage Dragon for a lot of years. Now it's all weird, but yeah. So this is supposed to be Cassandra Cain, the Cassandra Cain Batgirl, sorry. Batgirl. Let me see, costume. Looks like she has some, like, a couple of iterations here. And it just, like, a lot of lines for the suit here. I don't know if that matters. I mean, I do like sometimes the simplicity, even though it's a black suit, that it just has these kind of random cuts that make it look cool. I do have a reference over here. It's kind of a toy statue reference, an anime toy statue reference. I'm changing some of the handwork and stuff, but so I don't know what makes Cassandra that much different, other than, I mean, the character, obviously, because wasn't she mute? Is that right, Ulysses? If you're still here. Well, I'm glad that you recognize that this is supposed to be Cassandra. Cass. So do they call her Cass in the thing? You're the only one who calls her Cass. That everybody else was okay with calling her Cassandra, that I saw. Let's do the. There's a brawler looking version of her here, where she's got that, and then. But she is she mute? Is that the thing? She's an Asian girl. She's mute. She's the daughter of 2 assassins or something like that. I am not super familiar with her. I just knew that she appeared. My son was asking about her today because I was telling him that I was going to be drawing Batgirl, and I was telling him that I was not familiar with Cass Cain. I thought that she like stole Batman's suit and dubbed herself Batgirl, and Batman didn't like that, and she died. She died because of it. Like, he didn't train her or something, and then she ended up dying. I don't know. But if you like her that much, I should probably, it's probably interesting enough to learn more about her. Yeah, I feel bad for some of these characters, lesser popular, or I don't want to say they're less popular, but they don't sell as many comics, and so they kind of go by the wayside, and it's somebody's favorite character. But what do you do with these characters after they've been around for like 100 years? Like, Superman's coming up on 100 years. Like, how do you keep it fresh? How do you keep it new? They've rebooted it and stuff. You see, what's going on, Brother Ralph? Brother Ralph is in the house. Made it today. Made it this week. She's looking great. Thank you, sir. I hardly keep up with the Bat family characters. Been reading up on the Radiant Black comic universe. Okay, Radiant Black comics universe. I'll have to dig into that. I am exploring independent comics. As an independent comic creator, I feel like I have an obligation to support my fellow independent creators. Morally, if not, moral support, if not financial. And I try to do financial when I can. I just got, but I'll have to check that out. I'm going to jot that down here. Radiant Black, Radiant Black. And Black comic universe. How many titles do they have out? How many characters? Radiant Black and Rogue Sun are cool. Okay. Are they? I assume that they are independent comics. Maybe I'm not correct, but correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Lost track of time here. Okay. We're still good. So I do want to announce, guys, that I am starting my Kickstarter on September 30th. 8 o'clock p.m. That's a Monday. I will have a launch stream. I will probably, maybe I'll launch it at 9. I'll start the podcast, the live stream at 8 to launch at 9. That's a long time. We'll figure that out. Because I do want to share with you some of the rewards before they get taken up. Some original art and stuff. I've got some variant covers. But if you missed it earlier, I announced that I will be doing it on all 3 platforms: Kickstarter, Fund My Comic, and Indiegogo. And I've never done Indiegogo or Fund My Comic. So I'll keep most of the ask. I think I'm going to ask for $3,500, and that will just get some printing done and some of my colors done. And I'll ask for $500 on Indiegogo, $500 on Fund My Comic, and $2,500 on Kickstarter. And I'll make it flexible for Indiegogo and Fund My Comic. But I don't think that Kickstarter has a flexible goal thing yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't know if you guys have done Indiegogo. Kickstarter, and I haven't done it since the beginning of this year. So, really awesome. A lot. Okay. So the Radiant Black universe has a lot of characters. Origin X says it's the former writer of Power Rangers comics, so the plots are pretty interesting. That's cool. I will definitely be on for that. Can't wait to back issue number 6. I appreciate that, brother. That's a good round number. Yeah, I'm trying. I have zero idea about crowdfunding. Love hearing you talk about this stuff. No, I appreciate you being here and just supporting me and just making this an interesting way for me to connect with future fans, future potential fans. Hopefully they'll give Alpha Red a shot. So I do have some variant covers that will be exclusive for each platform. So let me see. Can I make this more interesting? So you make it more interesting and dramatic with shadows and stuff. So I was trying to make it more of a finished picture because I knew that I would have time to make it more finished. but I can't bring myself to do it because because the camera's on. I'm camera shy. Camera shy, guys. Can you believe it? I do want to show you here in the last couple minutes. I want to show you. Here's the latest variant cover that I have. This will be for the Fund My Comic variant. This is an homage cover for Invincible Iron Man number 150, and I'll have, I had to create this, but it'll have all the trade dress on there. Let me see. Do I have the? Nothing's close by. Didn't think of it. Where is my? There it is. There it is. Hang on. If I can get this to stay right here, I'm gonna grab the. Here. This is so it doesn't fall over. All right. Hang tight. All right, so that's one of the homage covers. Check this out, guys. This one is the one I was most excited about as an homage cover because I've been thinking about this like for a long time, since even the last campaign. I was like, can I make this work? Can I just do this? How cool is that? So I really like Deadpool. Deadpool was one of my favorite characters for a long time. Like it went, it used to be Spider-Man, and then it went like in the late 90s, early 2000s, Deadpool like popped up to number one, and so I wanted to do an homage of that. So Kickstarter, Cascade, okay, let me see. Ulysses says Cascade was raised by an assassin who didn't teach her to speak, but instead to fight. So the language part of her brain is programmed to fight. She can read body language perfectly and fight perfectly. Wow, that's kind of cool. So Ralph says, Kickstarter was great for me. Indiegogo, not so much. And I've never used Fund My Comic. So yeah, I've never used it either. So we shall see. We shall see. That's why I'm going to keep the limits lower for Fund My Comic and for Indiegogo. That's really just to see if there was anybody that I was missing on those platforms. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or not. So I'm going to ask for most of the money on Kickstarter. So that's where I'll put the bulk of it. And so this is the original, and then so this is the homage. And do I have the original of? Had it. I grabbed it. Where are you? Okay. So that was that. This was the Iron Man. This is the homage. So I'll put all this stuff up here. I'll make up new stuff. It'll say Fund My Comic exclusive comic issue or something like that. But I just finished that not too long ago, like minutes before the draw stream started. And then here is the third homage cover. This will be the Indiegogo. Let me see if I can get that under the camera. Right. So it's the Dark Knight Returns, and this will be Alpha Red. This is Wingman, and it turned out awesome. I've actually got the colors in it, the lightning. Everything looks fantastic. I'm so excited about that. But that is those are the three covers. Actually, I have, and of course, if anybody wanted to support all three, you gotta catch them all. You gotta Pokemon them all. there would be a free. There's lots of freebies if you do all three, and so you would get a free comic, and this would be the cover for that. I might change the arm here where he's pointing at you. It'll be like a super fan issue, an art-centric pencil ink color version of Alpha Red #6. So those are ideas I'm tossing around. And this coming week, I'll be putting those campaigns together, and hopefully next week I will be able to announce where you can go to sign up to be notified when they go live, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to present it to people, and hopefully using social media, kind of drum up some excitement. So I will be looking forward to that. And we are wrapping up here, guys. That is the one. Where's the other one? I swear, I get this Barbara Gordon one, this Babs one, her hand fixed up, and maybe I'll just. I have to fix her face. Man, can I fix her face in 4 minutes? We're gonna give it a try. We're gonna give it a try, guys. We can't let Babs be all butterface. She can't be all butterface for us. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, bro. Let me see. Yeah. No, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited about like a new story. All the things that I've learned here in the past year as I was putting Alpha Red #6 together. I'm just thinking like what I like about comics, and to make it fun and exciting. I wanted action, lots of action. I did. Oh, I can, while I have the last couple minutes here. Might as well just do the usual, fly through the 13 pages that I have, right? Page 1, page 2. Gosh, I just love how these pages turned out, and I'm excited. And you guys, I don't know if you've seen the colors on these pages. I posted them some places, but if you want to see previews like this every day, I post on my Patreon. You can join for free, and I give you sneak peeks of all this stuff and the colored versions. The colored versions are coming in, and so just really awesome stuff. And I'm excited to show you guys. Cool covers. Thank you. I missed some. I missed some. Kickstarter, great for me. How'd you get the black cover on the blank cover on Alpha Red? I have the printer, my printer makes them for me. I don't offer it. I didn't think anybody would want it, but I wanted to draw Alpha Red sketches and just sell them for cheap, so that it kind of incentivizes people to pick up #1. And the idea is that if you pick up #1, you're going to want to pick up 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they are for sale. They'll be for sale on the Kickstarters, and some of them will be drawn on. Others will be available blank for those who want them. And I'm not trying to make like $1 bazillion on this stuff. I just want to pay for future Alpha Red. So it really is just to get them printed up, get the colors finished, get them printed up, and get them in the hands of people who want it. So let me see. A blank cover is a great incentive reward. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so like these, if they are still available, I'm going to put these finished ones on Etsy. And if they don't sell on Etsy, I'm going to take them off Etsy, and then I'm going to put them as add-ons that you can get for the campaign, and like cheap, like that'll be like $15, like $10-15. I just want to be able to pay for the printing of the book and the shipping. And I want you to have it. I want people to have the things. So we are wrapping up, guys. I appreciate you being here. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment. Apparently that helps with stuff. We moved from 154 subscribers last week. We have 160 this week, and I am so grateful for that. I do want to shout out some people who had some nice things to say. Come on, YouTubes. Last week, I forgot that I started doing this. So DeAndre said, nope, she already read that. Already read that. Some new subscribers. Thank you, Cyrus Stam, for subscribing. Thank you, Richard Lumsden, for subscribing. I'm terrible at reading, so this is hard for me. Ulysses suggested Batgirl Cascade. Thankfully, I was able to do that. I had time to do that. So I hope you enjoyed that. David Romanowski said, hey, do you have a... nope, I should have read that. Ulysses again. DeAndre, very neat, love it. Zebra Comics said, good work. So I just thank all the people who subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, please do so. It helps the algorithms pick me up and show me to other people. So I hope that you enjoyed the Batgirls. You got 2 for the price of 1 this week. So I hope you enjoyed that. And like, subscribe, share, comment, and I appreciate it. Until next week, grace, peace. Outro. Here we go. See ya.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.